But this this will end. It's just a matter of time and whether or not we get enough people to understand this. But I've argued the case that political action, which I've been involved in, is very important for about one reason. I think all political action should be directed toward the preservation of liberty. That should be what our goal should be. Once I get involved in wanting to make you a better person, or the world a better, or other countries a better place, and have a fair and equal society, it's only done at the expense of liberty. And the purpose of liberty, for me personally, is that the reason that I think our lives are important, not only do I believe they come from a creator, but I believe that the goal that we should have is to strive for virtue and excellence. And if you're struggling to stay out of prison from an authoritarian government all your life, you have not much chance to use the creative energy that all of us have been given in our effort to strive for caring for our family and striving for excellence and virtue and be as creative as we can. So there's no doubt in my mind of the values of a free society. I think where we come up short, those of us who believe in limited government and constitutional government, where we come up short is we lose actually the economic and the moral argument, because the proponents of big government grab the moral high ground. They say, we care about people. You who don't believe in these government programs, that you don't care. But the whole thing is, if you really care about people, if you are the strictest humanitarian on all of earth, you would argue for freedom. Because that is the only system that has ever solved the problem of poverty and famine. The freer a country, the more prosperous it is, the better we eat and the more we have. And this whole notion that if we don't endorse government largesse, which is stealing, it's immoral to steal, it's immoral to tell other countries what to do, it's immoral to have preemptive, preventative war, it's immoral for our CIA to go over and murder people. And if we believe in the other, believe me, this is what would take care of the maximum number of people. Would it be a perfect society? In no way. We're not going to see a perfect society, but it would be the best ever. And we were approaching that. We were moving in that direction because we had the best opportunity. We had the best defense of liberty in this country than any other country. So we became the most prosperous country, but we have lost our way. We have gone a long way from that. We have lost our confidence. We don't have the belief that freedom works. That most people will say, yes, you're right, I believe, I agree with you, but you need this and you need this and this. Everybody has one exception to the rule. But if you give up a little bit and say that we have to give this much because there's a great need, you've given up 100% of the principle, and then that leads on and on. To more and more. So if we want to live in a better world, what we have to do is first understand where our rights come from, defend personal liberty, understand economics. Ultimately, to sell this to a large number of people, would have to support this because it's in their interest. If they think they're going to suffer from a free society and you need this government to take care of them, then that won't work. But it also takes a moral society, and the founders understood this, that freedom doesn't work if you have an immoral society. So I think, even though if you had zero compassion, the system would still take care of the most people. But it would also be much, much better if you had a compassionate society, and that people did. Compassion, not only making sure you took care of yourself, your family, your neighbors, your church, but taking care of anybody that had needs. I think, in this big debate on medical care, I've made the point, that there are private hospitals. The first hospital I ever worked in, moonlighted, when I was drafted in the military, I worked for $3 an hour. And I was in the Santa Rosa Hospital in San Antonio. It was a church hospital. It was before Medicaid, and everybody got taken care of. And doctors worked for less. Everybody got charged the least amount. And people weren't lying out on the streets without medical care. But the more charitable society is, the more responsible society is, the more the criticism would be neutralized. But the truth is, if in a free society somebody happens to be very narrow-minded and he just happens to be a very, very good businessman, and he's dedicated to making profits for his company and giving jobs to people, that's still a great contribution. And then that means you can have a choice on what to do with your money left over, how charitable you want to be. The other day in my district, I had like a town hall meeting, and it was in a conservative audience, and I was really surprised because we were talking about all the spending and how bad Obama was and all this stuff. And she got up and she was annoyed because we were talking about cutting off money to Honduras. And I said, well, look, I said, I'm against all foreign aid, so I'm not against Honduras. I said, now, if we had a free and prosperous society, you would have a lot more money in your pocket. If you felt sorry for the people in Honduras and want to help somebody, you can send them all the money you want. You can go down and join their army if you want. But just don't send them. Just finish on a positive note and say that the country is awakening. The revolution is alive and well. And if you continue it, you will see only positive changes. Thank you very much.